Today we're going to review the 5050 high-powered remote control Knihgt. I'm assuming they meant Knight Rider. Knight Rider lights. Try and pronounce that. Let me know how you say it. Here, I'm going to try and get a little closer so y'all can read this. You can pause it and understand Chinglish. But we are going to test out the quote-unquote Knight Rider scanner from the 1980s. Apparently it also involves the Power Rangers. So again, here you go. You can buy these on eBay for about $20, and they take about 6 weeks to get here to the United States. So let's see what's inside the box. Well, they definitely didn't spare any expense on packing material. So, here is our LED strip with the 5050 LEDs. They are RGB. Here is our control box. And our remote. Oh, apparently it has a battery since you can see the light. Oh. And a little antenna. Alright, so it already comes pre-plugged in. I have used these in the past. That is your receiving antenna. Very high-tech. And this is your wiring harness that you need to wire into your power source. It would be a car, truck, motorcycle, ATV, man cave, doesn't matter. Pretty good job of wrapping this. There we go. Now, of course, when I hook this up, it probably is going to swamp out the camera a little bit. LEDs are good at that. Well, let's see what it says. 12-volt battery connected to red and 12-volt battery connected to black. Yellow wire is if you want to use it for your brake, and the green is your left and right. So let's fire this bad boy up and see what it looks like. Turn on power supply. Putting out 12 volts of juice. Black. And red. And there you go. There, a little darker. Here is white. That's off. And there would be your Knight Rider scanner. Slow it up a little bit. Change the speed. And here's your keys. So D is power. B is mode. You can see what kind of mode you got. C changes the speed. You can either increment it by pressing the button or just hold it until you find the desired speed you want. Of course, it'll reset to slower. And A is your color. And this thing has a handful of colors. It's your standard RGB. Normally, typically 12 different color modes. And there's your directionals. As you saw, this is warning. Back to the Knight Rider scanner. Kind of more of the modern Knight Rider program with the Mustang scanner, although it wasn't a straight line. Pulsate. We're going to change its colors. And this one can get you in trouble in a lot of places, since it would technically be a police light. Change the speed so it looks more like what you would see on a cop car. I know where I am. If you have this on your car and it's flashing red and blue and you're not in a private property area, parking lot, car show, this will get you a ticket. Reverse it. So will this one. And that one. This one not so much, you just can't drive with it on. But if they mistake the green for blue, you're still screwed. So they're just going through some of the modes. There's a building block in destruction mode. It's going to build the corners up, get faster in the center, then tear itself apart. There you go. Crisscross. And you got the solid colors. This is white. I have used this as a driving light in the past, and I'll let you know that you will normally get flashed because it is extremely bright. It's hard to tell on the camera, but it is. Turn off all the background light to get a better idea on how it swamps out the camera. And this is demo mode. It's going to go through all the different options. And I'm going to tilt it so it's less likely to blind the camera. There goes solid red, green. Now, these are good lights. We have had problems with them in the past, but we're going to take this one and we're going to mount it in the front of a car. We're going to integrate it into the bumper. So stay tuned for a follow-up video in the future where we do this light and show you what happens after time in front of a car. Technically, it should last quite a while. We will definitely find out. Hopefully you enjoyed the Knihgt Rider, however you want to say it, light, and we'll get you more on the review later. Alright, we're back. Forgot to show you the brake and directional feature. So here it is, flashing red and blue. And if you were to put this in your car, like under the bumper of the tailgate, etc., yellow wires brake, you hook this into your brakes. And you can see it goes red. It flashes and goes red. Here's one of your directionals. Here's the other directional. And then there's directional and brake. I'll try and hold it better here. It overrides the directional, so it's just a brake light. And if both directionals are on, which would be the equivalent of your hazards, they can only do one. So, it attempts. It just doesn't succeed at being fully functional for modern vehicles. It would work okay in a maybe a 5-wire setup on the back of a truck, which isn't very common anymore. Most everything's 4-wire. But this will probably work pretty good on an ATV. Might even use it on the front of a car. Might only hook up just the brake light option, not the directional, since it can't do a hazard. So, or if you want hazard, keep it disconnected from your directionals and set it on something like this, which would be a great warning light, forward or backward. You just have to check with local laws again, because sometimes they get a little antsy when you can make an RGB system do police type flashing, or emergency vehicle flashing as it's referred to around here. Doesn't matter if it's a cop, fire truck, ambulance. If it's can display flashing lights, especially flashing red and blue, they don't like it on your car. So if you decide to buy these, which they are nice, I will have to admit I only use them as you see here for car shows. They're not too bad, but be careful on the street. Also, this RF controller, it has the same frequency as other ones, and even some TV remotes. I can turn on other people's versions of this with this, and I can even turn this on with a TV remote, and I can use this to change my TV channels. Not all of them, just some of them. So you got to be careful of the frequency. If you install this in your vehicle, I would highly recommend that you stick a kill switch in to where this does not have constant power. That there's a switch between this and your power source or your battery. The cars I've used similar in the past that use these RF controllers, I've always put a little switch on the dashboard, center console, somewhere where the person wants it, so that way it's accessible and nobody can turn it on and get them pulled over for impersonating an emergency vehicle or having just random flashing lights on their car, forward, down, sideways, backwards, doesn't matter. So again, we're going to stick this on the front of a car. We're going to do some testing on it, and we'll give you a review after a couple of months to see what it looks like. Of course, in video time it'll be much shorter because we've already started the review process. So we will let you know. We bought several of them, but we figured we'd show you the 50/50 Knihgt lighting from China on eBay. Any questions, comments, leave them below.